Fire away.
Your quarterback depth chart's really tested you. You had some guys up the street throwing yesterday.
There's a lot of tight wobblers out there yesterday, but they got to where they were supposed to get to. I think I know who you're talking about.
So no truth to the rumor you're signing the guy?
We need to see some more today. Yeah.
Why do you only have one quarterback just for this camp?
I just thought that was the best thing. We have he's been here for a while. He knows what we're doing. It takes a while to teach these guys some of the stuff, and I think he has a pretty good grasp of what we've been doing the last month. So that was the thought process behind it.
Are you going to work Johnson Mack on both sides of the ball? I know you played them in college.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Brian, did you you've never been in this position before, but all the years that you've been in these mini camps and things, the way you're doing it on the field now, as far as really not giving them too much, and really, it's even more than ever, it seems like you're just going to really go through the basics here. Is that something you learned throughout, watching these rookie camps and saying, sometimes we gave these guys a little too much and it was kind of a freak show out there?
Yeah, I think each year you try to evolve and do what you think the best thing is to do. I think the more stuff you have in your head, the slower you play. These guys are pretty anxious as it is coming in new and learning a new building, learning new people, learning how we do things as a program. So just thought that was the best thing for those guys. They did a good job of it out there.
Because they are really geeked up, right? They really want to impress you and things. And,
no question. And they even practice the right way, not dragging people down and things like that, which, again, this is more a teaching camp. We're going to see them in individual drills and the skill sets that they have. And when we go competitive periods, just make sure we're taking care of one another.
I heard at one point when you got before one of them, you said walk through.
Yeah.
You said walk.
Yeah.
Like, they don't want to walk. They want to run.
No doubt. Yep. That's... You get that in the walkthrough. We did a walkthrough a little while ago. It's the same thing. They're pretty amped up. They want to go out there and compete, but teaching them tempo is another thing you have to do.
Is the teaching part of this more where you want to be juxtaposed to the getting ready to play a game type of preparation?
Yeah. I mean, that's such a long way away right now. We have so far to go. So, again, these guys, just to get from the locker room to there, or from the locker room to the cafeteria, you got to take all that stuff into account. How to log into their iPad and get into film, and there's just so many things for these players. They're moving from different spots. It's the first time that some of them have been just on their own. Sometimes there's a lot of family members that help out in college. So we're taking it slow, and we're going to try to help them grow, off the field as well as on the field.
How do you view the transition for a guy like Evan Neal? What's the transition like? What's maybe one of the more difficult things for a tackle when you come, from college? He's obviously playing in Alabama,
sure,
which is a pretty good college.
Yeah.
And coming to the NFL, what is he going to be facing in that regard?
Elite pass rushers, good edge setters for the most part. Guys that are, he's a big man, so there's not going to be a ton of people that are bigger than him. But the athleticism of the players that he's going to have to face, the movement up front that he's going to get to, the quickness that some of these guys have, and ultimately the experience. Every rookie has to go through it. You're experienced playing football. You're just not experienced playing in the National Football League. So, there's a lot of things that he's going to have to learn and keep building on. But I think he's a mature young guy. He's played a lot of different spots. I think that'll help him too in terms of how he sees it. But, when you're a rookie, you have a long way to go, really, with everything.
On a scale of
oh no, now we're doing. Don't talk about scales, please. I'm trying to work on that here. Yeah. Okay.
Brian, what do you like about Corbin, the running back? Why'd you guys bring him in?
Athletic. He's got some quick twitch. He had a pretty good day yesterday. Yeah, kind of stood out a little bit.
How so?
Athletic, quick twitch, good in individuals. There's only so much you can see out there, but the individual drills, a lot of them you're almost going out there on pro days or individual workouts, and some of the drills that we even do out here are some of those drills that we do when we go work guys out, so you get a good feel for them, so you can compare kind of apples to apples.
What's it been like developing a relationship with Mike Kafka now that you guys have been able to coach out in the field together for the first time, like over the course of all
Yeah,
these
it's
workouts
been
and
great.
stuff?
First of all, he's a good person. He's a good father, good husband. very easy to talk to, smart. Obviously he went to Northwestern, but smart football-wise too. I think he's had, good upbringing in this profession. He's 34 years old, but he's learned a lot from, I'd say, Coach Reed and the things they did at Kansas City. Has some really good ideas and thoughts on some of the stuff they did there. Easy to work with in terms of, integrating and mixing systems of how we're doing things and trying to come up with the best thing for the Giants. I'd say he's a good leader for the guys. He's kind of reserved, if you will, but that offsets me a little bit too, which is good.
Brian, the Miller kid from Maine,
Yep.
you guys are converting him. He played wide receiver.
Yeah.
You're converting him or looking at him at tight end.
Yeah.
What intrigues you about the kid?
Well, he's got good size. Obviously he played out on the perimeter a lot there at Maine, but he has good size. I think he's got some skill set that we can maybe develop here a little bit in the inside part of the offensive formation, wherever that may be, whether it's attached and off the ball, a little bit in the slots, maybe some in the backfield. Just trying to find a role. Has some athleticism, ran well. Hopefully he can contribute on special teams when he's here. So just a guy that has some athleticism we're going to take a look at in that role.
Brian, just going back to Mike for a second here. He was a former NFL quarterback.
Sure.
How much of an advantage does that bring to, when you have a guy like Daniel Jones,
Sure.
and the guys behind it? Is there an advantage there to be had?
I think the advantage is he's a good teacher first and foremost, but I think experience at that position is always helpful. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be a good coach at it, but I think he's, he started the right way. Started way back at Northwestern, kind of went up the ranks. Has really good. He has good eyes for the position. He sees it obviously like he's playing it, but he's really good at teaching, which is an important part of being a coach. You got to be a good teacher, and you got to make sure they can see it through your eyes and have good communication with your players. That's what I've been happy with him.
Just saw Roy Medic, I don't know which his last name, walk by.
Yeah.
What have you seen from him, and how big is this transition for him to come from where he's coming from to where?
Yeah,
he's
I'd say it's big. Yeah, the rookies out here have played a lot. We're starting from ground zero with him, and he's trying to soak everything up. And there's a lot at that position. There's a lot of words and a lot of communication that goes on. He's got a great personality. Bobby and Tony have done a really good job just meeting with him, but we got a long way to go.
What do you think when you hear the Jordan Mailata, like that's sort of like the baseline for those kind of guys now?
Yeah.
You hear that kind of comparison, oh, maybe he could be that.
Yeah,
I
I don't know. We're just trying to teach him what a sort call means right now, and he's learning, but we got to continually do it day by day.
When they present a guy to you and they say, well, this guy's literally never played football before.
Yeah.
When you look at him, I guess it's like, well, all right, unless he kind of looks like a player. Right?
Yeah.
He's a big dude.
Yeah. I've been around. I've had some experience being in the league as long as. Steve Neal was a guy. I'm not comparing him to Steve Neal by any stretch, a wrestler, but he's when you're playing a new sport for the first time, you have size, you have some athleticism, you have some length, but there's just so much you got to learn, and when things start happening at a fast pace, particularly in that position where you have to be, things happen so quickly. We'll work with him day by day. He's a good size, length, athletic guy to work with, but certainly a long way to go.
Couple more.
Guys, see that goal last night?
Oh, I was waiting for that.
There were a lot of them.
The last one? Great shot
You were
by
all
Kreider,
invested, huh?
Heck yeah. That was a great game. That was a great game.
You gonna be a game 7?
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, I'd love to be. Just
Sounds like
really
it might
good
be
example,
a
though.
workout.
You're down 3-1 in the series, and 2-0 in Game 5, and 2-0 in Game 6, and everybody's writing you off. And what do? They just keep competing and put one in right after the other. And then the other team comes back, scores right away, and lose a little bit of momentum and finish off the game strong. It's a pretty cool team to watch right now.
Do you have to take lessons from other sports teams, that go through that and teach them?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Look at the Kentucky Derby the other day. Horse wasn't even the race, was it? To the last day.
the day
So
before.
that's athletics. That's sports. You're going to go through a lot of tough times. Got to stay mentally strong.